Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Warrior Nun, Season 2, Episode 2, Colossians 3, 9-10. I love this show. I am so excited to jump back into another episode. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go. Of course he's gone. Also, wounds do affect her, but it heals. And their little uniforms as well. Do we have, like,
what are they doing?
A camera or something to capture footage of this?
Prayer circle in a field.
Because it's just them looking.
I'm gonna get a closer look.
Do you have a camera? Are you going to record this for, like, to out them if they do something?
I know what you're gonna say.
I don't care. He's hiding something.
We're all hiding something. You're jealous.
Jealous of what? What I dislike is when your rash decisions and poor judgment making threaten to get us killed.
I mean, she is jealous, but she's also got a point. Sweetheart.
I'm not the same person I was, and I thought you knew that.
She does.
Did you hear that?
Something's happening.
What are they doing?
They're chanting his
Standing
name.
there. Smoke?
No. It's alive.
What's happening? And why aren't we recording this if we're going to try and out them?
We both kick ass. You're weirdly informed about the theological state of the world. Apparently this one's no bullshit.
What will you tell us first? There's two of us.
We're undercover tactical nuns.
Fine. Don't tell me.
The best thing is she didn't lie.
And I'm sorry, Ava, but you're not ready.
You're close.
I'm
It's...
training my ass off. Who are you to tell me I'm not ready?
I'm your best friend, and I cannot watch you die.
Is she not ready, or are you just not ready to let her risk it?
We know he wants to destroy Adriel.
And that's all.
Exactly, we don't know. He could also be a terrible person. We might want to replace him.
He
Or...
could expose the location of the halo to Adriel. Train. Keep training until we're called back in.
For someone who's never drunk before, she's handling this very well.
He's passionate about the cause because he's in the fight.
And that's all.
Entirely.
Jealous, my love. I'm so worried this is a trap. Because this would be a way to draw in any surviving. This looks like a trap more and more.
Stop! Identify yourself. Wait.
The reporter. None.
You're them, aren't you?
They hoped these women were alive.
I can't tell you.
These mysterious people, mysteriousing.
Because I've sworn to only say it to one person. The warrior nun.
Well, this would be a brilliant trap. Send in someone that looks trustworthy to try and get us to bring her to the warrior nun.
I had a friend like that too. Yes.
I don't trust anybody. Or is this jealousy the other way around now?
Very clear to her.
Now we've got a chance to interrogate one of these fuckers and get some actual inside information. Where you're working.
What do you mean by interrogate?
Oh, I'm fine.
I saw your hand, it's not
No, it was a trick. See? Faked it.
She's
You just happen to carry around a bottle of fake blood.
she's so obvious.
Never reveal sweet secrets.
She's...
Come on.
He's gonna... I mean... I think the night before he was in so much shock and things were flying everywhere.
What is
But
this? Where are
he
we going?
saw something phase through him.
Privacy informant.
You're talking about a kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't going to get more involved.
Are you in this fight or not?
She'll go if you're going.
Fine. Fine.
But she doesn't even never listens. Though I agree with both of them about how to go about this, which means I agree with neither of them, which means I agree with both of them, which means I'm stuck.
Discretion. I can do this.
Don't worry, it's just a tranquilizer. You were thinking blindfold?
Camilla. Adriel in her head?
Lilith.
Hello, Mother.
Oh, she went home. Right? Adriel's not in her head, she just went home. Right? I'm so confused. Always expecting the worst. This seems great.
Come on.
We can't torture someone.
You will burn in the fiery flames of hell unless you bow to his love.
Yes, this sounds very, you know, good.
Redundant. Sorry.
Is he possessed?
What are you planning?
So has a thing in his soul?
What do you need me to do? I have not thought that far ahead.
Yes. We used to do an exorcism, if you wouldn't mind. Are all the followers demons or something? Lilith tracked you down once. She won't be so forgiving the second time. It's not a miracle if you cause it to happen and then stop it. If I start screaming and then I stop screaming, it's not I didn't make a miracle by stopping. Targeting again pious people. You're a fool, Vincent.
These appear to be genuine acts of supernatural power.
Yes, he's a devil.
Now that you've been passed over for the Halo.
I wasn't passed over for the Halo, Mother.
Oh, no. May I see it, then?
Lilith, your family is not real
You
family.
make it sound as if I failed. Refusing to see the reality of the actual woman sitting in front of her.
I have accepted the only reality that counts.
Fuck off.
My daughter. Cheers.
She was chosen to be the next warrior nun, and if it wasn't for circumstances out of anyone's control, she would have been. Why did you come back?
For millennia, my family has pledged to protect the world against Adriel's return.
That is a very interesting...
We're an adjunct operation of the OCS. Very good at keeping secrets.
Explains how she'd heard of them, I
Our
suppose.
order, I would love to tell you. I really would.
What if something happens to you before we get you there?
Birth to follow a specific protocol.
Be forgiven. Return what's rightfully his, and he'll make you whole again.
Oh lord, because he's a demon that's connect. Oh my god. How do you exorcise a demon? But all of his followers have demons inside them. Is this gonna make Ava realise why she's not fully trained yet? And she is getting there! Ava... She uses it, she is good enough. But did everybody here see her? Is the demon gone?
What's that on your back?
Tattoo?
We've been exposed.
I suppose she's still, you know, she knows how to use it, she's able to use it to fight, but she still, I guess, kind of goes to like, she can't find a subtle way to use it, or she's not fully in control of it. But she got the job done.
Now all things are mine to enjoy.
You can go enjoy them and stop enslaving people.
Man not come. Don't they deserve a better world?
A better world awaits us all.
Yes, but obeying you or else isn't a better world.
The kingdom, but consider a partnership between us. The things we could do.
Yes, I do, and I'm terrified.
Crops from the desert, feed the hungry body and soul. We could unite the world. Now your flock.
Yes, but you don't want to do any of that for good reason,
Religion remained.
do you?
You'll suffer the flames of hell and eternal damnation. I'll cast you out. Leave these holy places.
Hear me well, Francesco. For 1,000 years, the Catholic Church has used my power. I think you owe me.
Give it some thought.
Did he truly believe he was an imposter?
Okay, stay there. I'll be right
Don't you think this woman is trustworthy? Oof. Is she afraid he's becoming a demonic creature?
They're in Madrid.
Don't tell her!
You've got to go to tell my sisters what happened to Mary.
Mary's fine because I say so.
I should have listened to you.
We cannot change what is, only what will be.
Talk to her, Beatrice. Say, yes, I'm freaking annoyed with you. Let it out.
And people who regret tend to take care not to repeat their mistakes.
Let it out. What? To a degree.
You just You do whatever you want.
You think my choices are clear? I'm doing the best I can!
I know, and yes, that's why you both need to let it out more often and talk to each other.
I'm sorry.
You both needed to just vent a little bit.
I'm sorry. For everything. But it is my job to see you through this. Just your job.
I picked up on that word too.
Well, and my pleasure.
The moment is ruined. I don't believe this, okay?
It's just 3 words. We've lost Mary.
I don't believe this for a second. But it's feeling more and more real. You just had to hold out hope and just keep believing. But I don't believe it. I mean, maybe she has been captured by Adriel or something, but no. No. Immediately cut to where Mary is, please. Of course this bitch still has one and can still read them. And he knows that they're going to Madrid. Why didn't they think of the fact that he would have this?
Survivors are gathering.
Fuck. Why did they forget about Vincent?
Then you must join them.
So they can kill you? I love this show. I am going to be in denial, because if I was not in denial I would have been crying about Mary being dead, but she's gonna rock up. I mean, I genuinely, the more it goes on, the more I am genuinely thinking that Mary is dead. And I don't approve. So, I think Ava and Beatrice kind of needed to let those feelings out. Beatrice needed to let some of her frustrations out, and even if they weren't wholly fair on Ava, they were a little bit fair. And then Ava needed to let out some of her frustrations as well, because she's been trying so hard to just go on with everything and train really hard, and I want this and I'm going to fight. But there's that huge part of her that keeps screaming, it's not fair, I don't want this. Of course there is. She didn't choose any of this. So I think it was really important that they got those feelings out, because otherwise they just keep bubbling and bubbling and bubbling. And it was a good reminder for both of them in a lot of ways. The fact that they ultimately do still care about each other, and they are still best friends, and that they are there for each other. So I loved that. The fact that they were together at least when they found out about Mary. I do want to know more about Miguel, but I'm also like, get my sisters back together. So yeah, the fact that the dude was possessed by a demon is very interesting to me, because it's not like any other time Ava has seen these guys, the guys handing out the pamphlets or whatever, she hasn't had the same sight with them. So does that mean it's not all of them, just some of his people get possessed by demons? Is the possession by demons coincidental, or is that a thing that Adriel is doing? Obviously we'll get more and more pieces of information and we'll find out, but it's all very, very interesting. Don't feel like I got too much more information about Miguel. Definitely you can see Adriel doing the different plagues to try and get proof, but I still don't necessarily think it's quite obvious he's causing these plagues and then solving them. Yeah, if you cause it, of course you know how to solve it, bitch. I mean, I can see why people would trust. I mean, I'm not a religious person in the slightest, so I would be taking every single thing with Adriel with a huge grain of salt. But if you already believe in an all-powerful being that there is no proof of, the minute you get proof of an all-powerful being, you're gonna be like, oh, yeah, definitely. So it's very dangerous, which is why the Catholic Church kind of needed to do something, only now I feel like it's either going to be like forcefully or willingly taken over by Adriel, which is just going to be great for everybody. I'm so stressed, because Adriel is this all-powerful being, and it's definitely, we almost need to find a way to ultimately take him down that doesn't alert the rest of the world that this stuff is real. Although, you know, so the woman, I can't remember her name. The woman I thought was a journalist, but she's not a journalist technically. She's a student. Her family, I can't remember her name, because I know I heard it and I was like, I'm going to take a note of that, and then my CFS brain was like, you're going to do what? But the fact that she is I think I do believe her, that she is sort of part of a different set of an order, keeping this very important information. I feel like information that important, you'd want to make sure there were like 3 or 4 different orders, because anything can happen over hundreds of years. Like, yes, you don't want to believe that chapter could die out, but it could so easily die out. But I'm glad she found the sisters. I think it's crushing that Mother Superior and Camilla probably thought they were going to actually find some survivors in Madrid, and instead they found their sisters dead. But at least they have someone who claims to know a way to stop Adriel. That is very important. I hope she's able to tell Ava before everything goes wrong in Madrid. I can't believe they didn't think that Vincent would have one of the crosses. Should be, if we say Madrid, you know it means Dublin, because Dublin begins with D and it's the last letter of Madrid. It's a new code that we transmitted to you telepathically, and of course there are no other cities in the world that begin with D. Oh god. So Ava and Beatrice's friendship is going nicely. Beatrice is definitely jealous of Miguel, but we also saw Ava being jealous of the woman that was talking to Beatrice. They're walking a difficult line. I think it is a hard time to pursue any kind of relationship like that when you are dealing with such dangerous life and death stakes, when you are both going through so much and you're so uncertain if the other person does feel the same way about you. It is going to be difficult, but I'm also here for the ride. I'm so fiercely proud of Ava and how far she has come, because she doesn't want this. She could just be like, well, I failed, I'm just going to go, go hide and live my life while I can. But she is giving everything she can to this fight. And I don't think she's wholly wrong for wanting to go with Miguel and wanting to try and get information and wanting to be part of the fight. But I also think the smarter thing to do would have been to stay away from it all and stay safe, keep training and not reveal your location. But I also don't think that finding information is necessarily wrong. Both of them had points and both of them, were kind of ignoring the other one's valid points at the same time. Beatrice is the more experienced one in these kind of tactical operations, but then maybe sometimes a fresh outlook on things is what they need. Lilith, I am very worried about. Obviously, her shoulder is changing. Now, is that from where she got shot? When it healed, it became like demon lizard skin? I'm obviously very concerned about her because she wasn't my favourite at the beginning of season 1 by any means. I thought she was arrogant, entitled. Seeing her mother, you're like, I see why. She had no other choice. But ultimately we saw that she came through, that she is trying to help the sisters and trying to save the world. Now, she can't do that if she becomes a demon, or she can't do that if she's lost herself. She does need to figure out what's wrong with her, though why she's trusting that woman. There is no other place for her to turn, I suppose, and she's quite confident that if there is anything dodgy going... I mean, I know that she helped her when she first came back, but even then, why are you trusting this woman? I suppose you think she can take her, regardless. God, so Vincent's going to be going to Madrid, surely with some more forces of Adriel's. He's not just going to be like, by the way, everyone, worship him. Will any of the warrior nuns, I call them all warrior nuns, but the OCS, will they... Not the main characters, obviously, but if the Vatican were to start saying, worship Adriel, he is an angel come from heaven, would they be like, but the Pope says we should go worship him? Or will they be true to their mission? It's going to be very interesting to see. I feel like we know ours, but then they know the truth. But you kind of have to be loyal to the order you're in, and to realise that if the main branch of the Catholic Church is corrupt and has gone wrong, your order can still stay and try and save it and purge it, purify it. I'm just so intrigued with where this is going. This season has been both everything I wanted it to be and nothing I expected it to be already. Worried about Lilith. Worried about the souls of many people. I mean, I don't know if souls are real in the real world. I mean, I don't think they are, but in this one they clearly are. I'm stressed about all of them because they're going to Madrid, and this is the perfect opportunity for them to be wiped out. Every single surviving member of the OCS is going to try and come to Madrid to regroup, and then the bad guys also have the address. It's just really stressful. I don't think this is the last we've seen of Miguel. I think he will continue to try and track down Ava now that he and his group know that she can do some weird stuff. I feel like I've missed so much in this episode that I wanted to talk about. My brain is just boggled with how much I love it. I cannot wait for the next episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance. And thank you so much for watching.